Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and welcome to my unboxing and review of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3. This is a budget end smartphone but with a very high specification. This is absolutely amazing for the money. It's got a 5.5 inch full HD display. It's got a 13 megapixel rear facing camera, 8 megapixel front facing camera. Both are capable of capturing 1080p video. It's got an octa-core processor. It's actually running the Snapdragon 615 chipset, and that octa-core processor is in two quad-core configuration. The first one running at 1.5 GHz, the second one running at 1 GHz. It's also supporting 4G. It's running Android version 5 out of the box, that's Lollipop. And we've also got 16 GB or 32 GB storage models, both come with 2 GB of RAM. So, without further ado, let's get this unboxed. You can see what you get inside. And the first thing we're obviously presented with is the phone. It's still got its screen cover on, as you can see. Some of the other specifications here, 100% reversible. What that means is you can use it in either orientation. It doesn't matter which way up you hold it, the screen will rotate accordingly. You've got microphones positioned at both ends. So let's remove this out of the box. I'll give you a quick look at the back, but we're going to pop the smartphone down to one side because we're going to have a closer look at the actual smartphone in a short while. Let's look at what else we get inside the box. So down here we have got a whole host of paperwork. Nobody really reads paperwork, and we've got loads of it inside this box in all different languages. We've also got some service and some safety instructions as well. Quick start guide in every language you could imagine. Let's pop that all to one side. This is what we're interested in. We have got a USB to micro USB cable inside this packet. We have got a wall charger. This happens to be a European review version. If you buy one in the UK, you should get a UK plug. This has got a 2-pin Euro plug, USB connection on this end here. And then for the price, this is amazing. Not only do you get a really decent smartphone, but you also get some JBL earphones as well. Look at this, JBL earphones with an inline remote, pinhole microphone, extra silicone ear tips as well, all in a budget end smartphone. And then last but not least in the box, if I can just get this little SIM removal tool out, we have got a SIM removal tool as well. So let's get this all up and running, and then we'll take a closer look at the OneTouch Idol 3. Okay, so we're all set up and running, and let's take a closer look at the hardware first of all. We have got an 8 megapixel front facing camera. We've also got front facing speakers, top and bottom, or obviously left and right if you're holding it in landscape orientation. And these also contain microphones, so you can turn the phone up either way and use it for phone calls without having to worry about the orientation. On the side here, we have got the SIM tray. We got the SIM removal tool that I showed you earlier, and this actually uses a micro SIM card. We've also got the power on off button just here. Across the top edge, we've got a secondary microphone. We've also got a 3.5mm audio jack. Along this side here, we've got the volume rocker, and across the bottom edge, we've got another microphone, and of course the micro USB charging socket. This is primarily all plastic. It's got some nice sort of polished features around the sides, a nice tapered sort of finish to it as well, so it fits very nicely in the hand. Now across the back edge we have got that 13 megapixel rear facing camera, and that's supported by an LED flash as well. So very, very impressive. We have also got expandable memory, and inside that side slot we have got the micro SIM card tray and the micro SD card tray. So we've got internal storage, 16 GB or 32 GB, depending upon which model you purchase, and then up to 128 GB micro SD card support as well. So let's go back around to the front and we will wake the phone up, and we just swipe up and we've got a really nice screen. As I say, this is 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it goes very bright indeed. Now I've got my studio lights on at the moment and I've got my camera adjusted to show the screen properly, but I just want to show you how bright this goes. So we're going to go into settings and we're going to display, and everything's readable at the moment for you. Let's go up to full brightness, and this is how bright it goes. It gives you sort of some indication of how bright this is. It's a brilliant display, and again, for this price smartphone, to get something that has got such a nice display, is very impressive indeed. And don't forget, this is full HD resolution. Now, one thing I will say about the display is it's got a slightly sort of blue tone along the edges and a slightly sort of yellow tone across the bottom. Might just be this one. It's a little bit distracting when you're on white backgrounds, but for the most part, it's perfectly acceptable. Now, I showed you the back of the phone a short while ago. This has got a non-removable back, so a non-user replaceable battery, but it is a decent battery. It's actually got a 2910, so 2910 milliamp hour battery. That is pretty impressive, and that should be more than enough to get you through a full day's of use. On medium to heavy use, in fact, that should be absolutely fine. A nice performance as well, nice and snappy when transitioning between screens. All of the pre-installed applications you can see now inside the app tray, and you're getting pretty much a stock sort of Android experience. Yes, some of the icons have been changed, but for the most part, it is a very lightly skinned version of Google Android version 5. Now, I've been testing the camera. In my opinion, the camera works better for photos than it does for video. But I'll show you a little bit of a video playing back, and it's okay. The video's not bad. Just the color tones are a little bit off when you're recording video, but you can go nice and close to your subject. You can see the autofocus in play here. When you go very close to your subject, you do have to touch to focus. So if you're moving in very close, it doesn't autofocus quick enough for me. So I ended up touching the screen to actually focus in on Pikachu there. And then, of course, we have got photos to show you, and the photos are brilliant. This is a 13 megapixel camera. You get some nice background blur. Again, nice and close to the subject matter here. Colors are nice as well. Go across to this one. Good detail in Milo. You can see all the individual sort of strands of hair. Very, very good indeed. This one, a nice close-up, so you can get nice and close to your subject matter. And again, this one I take with all of the smartphones I test nowadays. This is a picture of my Simpsons canvas. It gives me a good idea on colour accuracy, and the yellows are very, very accurate. The blues are very accurate. Indeed, even this area here is quite accurate. There's just a little bit of a tint to the white, but apart from that, everything colour balanced really nicely. And then last but not least, just another one of my Amiibo characters, and it just works really well in the low light areas. Yes, there is a little bit of grain, but it's not detracting from the overall photo. I think it's just a very, very nice performer. So I mentioned also you can use this in either orientation. So obviously we've got it with the 8 megapixel front facing camera at the top. If we're sort of making a call, for example, and we are holding the phone up this way, everything flips round and we can make the call in either orientation, because it actually uses either of those microphones to pick up your voice. Voice quality is very good. Battery life, again, as I said, more than acceptable. And for the price, this is absolutely amazing. I'm just going to cover it off again. You are getting a full HD resolution screen. You're getting an octa-core processor. You're getting expandable memory, the latest version of Google Android, at such a cheap, unlocked, SIM-free price with no commitment to a contract. This is the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3. I think it's a fantastic buy, and if you're in the market for a smartphone, you should definitely check it out. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, please do subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.